Yo, how's it going? Yeah, I'm starting the stream a little earlier today. I was just sitting around doing nothing, so I thought might as well start. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, all the sound is all good for you guys? Yeah, we'll go back to working on this aircraft now. We should probably probably get it done at some point. Yo, is it all good? Like the music and my voice, not too bad? Yo, how's it going? This thing feels so sketchy, like every time I plug my mic in and do a new stream, I have to check that my mic is actually working. Like half the time it doesn't. Whoops. Awesome, that's cool. Thanks. That was a bit weird. Yo, how's it going? Everyone had a pretty good week so far? Yo, how's it going? Alright, so what we're making is it Michal? Fuck, I keep getting his name wrong every single time. So he built this concept, so I'm just modeling this now. But like the first few streams have been based on yeah, just blocking out the model itself. There we go. Yeah, this is pretty much it so far. Yeah, it's a bit slow. I kind of didn't really think about how long this would actually take if I spread this over like 2-hour segments. This is probably going to take a while, to be honest, to do like a finished proper asset with like good topology and stuff like that. And also when I talk, it kind of it's kind of hard to work fast. Oh shit. What do you about this one? Over now. Yeah, no, it's not good. It's alright. It's spaceships, it's pretty fun. No, I try to do less personal work these days. That's why I've been doing like a stream a week instead of like streaming every single night. Because before that's what I used to do. I used to just work every single night pretty much. Oh, I really don't like this. Yeah, last week we were doing some more like concept sort of stuff, but yeah, I need to finish this aircraft. What I'll probably do today is like just refine the panels a bit more. Like, I'm not gonna make everything perfect. Like, I need to deal with this area, but I can deal with that later. Just at the moment, just breaking it up a bit more. Oops. So here's the problem with like not working on something consistently. I need to try and work out what I was actually doing. That's why like even like working in an actual workplace, doing something like this can be really frustrating if you're constantly bouncing between assets, because you kind of lose momentum on them. Okay, so that's that. Thanks, man. Let's maybe cut this off. Oh shit, not too much. It can definitely help like dealing with like an overwhelming asset by breaking it into like smaller sections. This is actually kind of why I like doing paneling. So there's existing panels in the design, but I'm going to add extra panels that I want. Like, I'd like to cut this line here. So I want this to be a section. Usually doing stuff like this doesn't really matter too much. Like if you just add like extra panel lines, it usually doesn't matter too much as long as you've got the main ones in the concept. Unless your VFX soup is like really picky. I can't really texture to be honest, so maybe I can learn texturing. I was planning to UV it though at the very least, so at least people can see how I UV. I know, is texturing something people will be interested in? Even though I'm not really a texture artist. I mean, you guys can watch me fail at texturing if you want, but we'll see. I'll definitely UV it at the very least. What is that? Okay. So random. Yeah. Yeah, let's finish the model before we worry about texturing. Whoops. Oh, pickaxe. I thought you just said his picture is amazing. I didn't know what you were talking about. Yeah, it's pretty cool work. Oh shit, what did I do that for? Yeah, you should check out his work, it's really good. Nah, I didn't do anything. You did it all, man. Whoa, let's not do that. It's weird. Yo, how's it going? Yeah, I was kind of sitting around doing nothing, so I thought I'd just start. We need to get this aircraft done at some point, and so oh yeah, so I've swapped to Tuesdays now because I have other commitments on Wednesdays, so I have to change my day. Yeah, so usually I have training whenever during the week, but now since winter's here, we lost the training spot I usually go to. So the only one I can go to is Mondays and Wednesdays. So obviously I can't stream on Wednesday anymore. Oh, this is a circle. Okay. Whoops. Is the music a bit low? I'll turn it up a little bit. Well, how is it now? Is it still too low? Or is it too loud now? I gotta figure out what I want to do with music, to be honest. At the moment I'm just playing the same list of songs because every time I try and have other music I just get muted on Twitch. And since this stream is mostly about like education, you don't really want to get muted. Is it still too low? Oh shit, I missed some things. Yeah, have you guys seen this tool? This is pretty cool. So if you go to modify and then you go to snap together tool, you can click on a face of one object and then click on the face of any other object like that, and then if you press enter it'll snap the object to the surface. So that's a pretty cool thing if people didn't know about that. Yeah, I don't use it too much, but it's pretty cool, like little thing. It's really handy for when you're doing, say for example, what's a good example? Say for example you're building like a robot or something, but you've got, obviously your robot, let's pretend this thing is a robot for some reason. Like this is the arm or something, so that's, you know, so this is your amazing robot arm. If you want like everything to always snap to this angle, what you would do is you just create like a plane. Oops. Maybe not too crazy. Like just a really simple plane like this. And anytime you want to, you know, put a cylinder on here, you're already aware that you can simply just go modify, snap together, snap that to that plane, And then every single like thing you create will always be on the exact same angle, so then you can start working on like joints and stuff like that instead of having to try and guess what angle it's at. So that's really handy. Oh, the pill shape thing, yeah. Yeah, it's entirely personal preference. This is just what I usually find easiest to do. So do we have two of these? It's meant to be there, but I'm going to drop it like slightly lower. There and there. Like, you can boolean this in, but I really distrust booleans in Maya, so I'm just going to simply just draw them in. And I always use a 8-sided cylinder. Come on, Maya. No, that's fine. Left and right? How do I have mine? So for me, everything on the left is on the left side. This I don't have it in hierarchy at the moment, but I would put these in C to show a C group. But say for example, if I was finished and happy with this, I would, and this is in the left group, you know, we'd flip it across. Oh, wrong way. And then I would merge these together. Then I'd put this into the C group. So anything I combine, well, you know, that's in the center, I'll move over to the C group. But while I'm working on everything, I just leave everything in left. So if I want, I can just easily flick everything across. Oh, wrong way. What is my method for booleans? What do you mean? Like, you can boolean this if you want, but usually I don't really boolean shapes. I would just do something like this and just extrude this in, because you're going to have to clean up the boolean anyway. I have to completely redo my topology around this thing. Let's go that to that. Yeah, I wish Maya was a bit more stable with this sort of stuff. So that's... yeah, okay. Yeah, you can do booleans, but it's the boolean thing is weird. Let's just see what happens. Actually, let's do something a bit more complex. Oops. So if I boolean this into this... oh, okay, it worked this time. Sometimes it doesn't work, and like no matter what I change this to, it doesn't seem to... oh shit, let's not do that. Difference. Yeah, sometimes I'll boolean and it'll be like this, even though it's meant to be set to edge. It's... I don't know, I just don't trust it. I mean, something like this is a bit more complex with inside, like, because you have all this extra geo, but something like this, I'm simply going to extrude it, so I don't really worry too much about that sort of stuff. Yes, I saved as soon as I... well, before I booleaned, don't worry. Whoops. Oh, what's this? Whoops. Oh yeah, my hotkeys where are they? Let's see. Yeah, they're on my blog. Which one is it? Yeah, I did a blog post on like my hotkeys and the main tools I use and that sort of thing. Oh shit, I don't remember doing this. Whoops. That's actually kind of cool though. I might leave this actually. This was a total accident. But I'll have like a subtle panel there instead. Yeah, if you go to my art station, there's my blog stuff is all there. Ah, damn, didn't work. Yo, thanks. It was so funny when I went to Denmark and then everyone had already seen my blogs, so it was a bit interesting figuring out what to teach them because everyone already knew everything I put on the internet. No, they were teaching me stuff. It's kind of funny, like you get so used to using the same tools over and over. But then obviously when people are learning the programs for the first time, they're taught this extra stuff you had no idea existed. Oops. Wait, why did I do this? This is meant to be a slope. Why did I do that? I'll deal with that later. To be honest, for a lot of like stuff like this, I usually just do it by hand. Like, these things are so small and Maya, no one's really gonna see if this thing's perfect or not. Chamfer of zero value? What do you mean zero value? Isn't zero value nothing? Do you mean like chamfering with... Wait, chamfering is like beveling, you mean? Any tips on detailing ships? Kitbash, a lot. Seriously, if you need a detail... Okay, yeah. If you need a detail of spaceships, just take anything you can find and kitbash with it. Like the least you have to model, the better. I know it's a really random trick, but... yeah, look up reference, definitely. Like, real aircraft have so many cool little antenna and little stuff like that that really sells the believability of the actual aircraft. Like, I remember one time I was at an air show and I saw these US Air Force mechanics buy all their aircraft, and I just went up to them and I was like, hey, can I ask you about the aircraft? And then they stood with me for like 40 minutes pretty much telling me what every single tiny aerial, every single little patch, like panel, everything did on the aircraft. So that was pretty cool. One of the coolest things I end up taking away from that is if you see real aircraft, you'll see at the back of the plane, every plane has these little kind of like aerials. They're like this big, they're really tiny. And that's for when the plane gets struck by lightning, it redirects the lightning around the plane to those aerials. And I thought that was pretty fucking cool. So anytime I build a plane, I'll put little like aerials on the back of the wings. Yeah, he already answered the question. That's exactly that's it. Yo, how's it going, man? Damn, from Poland. What time is it for you? But yeah, there's no way around pinching. You just gotta have more topology. That's pretty much it. For a lot of the stuff on here, I don't really have enough topology. To be honest, I'm not so picky about pinching anymore. Like, the reality is nothing is perfect anyway. So a little bit of pinching is not too bad. As long as it's not super obvious. I mean, don't get lazy though. That's another thing. Oh yeah, about the beveling thing. Yeah, I do it all the time. Like, especially if something I want to be more curved, I'll just bevel it and have like a really small thing like that. This is totally cool. This is fine. Sometimes if I want to make like a line straight like that, I'll delete the edge loop and then just recut it afterwards. Oh yeah? Damn, 5:20 AM. Sick, dude. That's not good. This matched? It did. It's kind of funny how much time we've spent already just on this one piece. And we have an entire aircraft to make. Damn. This is gonna take a while. I'll be very impressed if someone can hang around for the whole process of this aircraft. Sick. Yeah, I appreciate people coming to the stream every week, giving up hours of your time to watch me push Vertex around. Yo, how's it going? 12-year-old plus. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know why Fortnite's so big, to be honest. Oh shit. Zerosh Pass. I don't really know Zerosh that much either, to be honest. So, maybe? It depends. If I was to ZBrush and texture this thing, I'd probably be making a fool of myself. But if you guys want to watch that, we can do that. What's the question? Yeah, sorry, what do you mean, Wester? It's necessary to see. What do you mean extract the UV in all the pieces? Yo, you said you'd like to see me fail at ZBrush. How could you? Whoops. Well, screw this song. Let's go back up. Nah, to be honest, I never really use ZBrush that much. Like, it's not... I mean, it definitely is a very valuable skill to have. But the work I do at work never usually needs a ZBrush pass. And if it does, like the texture artist sometimes will do it. I've done it a little bit, but not too much. Not enough to like show or educate people on it. Okay, this piece isn't finished, by the way. I'm just moving on to something else. Maybe I should do the piece in front of it. Oh. Do you mean like delete? Oh yeah, well I mean you definitely have to UV everything. That's just a given. But if you're not gonna see it at all, you might as well just delete it. But it's definitely handy to UV everything. Yo, I'll be back in a sec. Yo, what are you guys talking about? What do you mean selecting faces with tab? I mean, yeah, like there's so many different ways of working. Like, whatever is easier for you. What do you use for tab? Oh, you mean tab. Do you mean this thing? Is this the tab thing you're talking about? I use this all the time. This is really handy. Especially if you want to select, you know, I don't know, like a ring of faces. Yeah, I use it all the time. It's pretty cool. It depends. Like, you've got your default box select, which is pretty standard, and then you click here and you've got this selection, which is pretty handy. And then yeah, obviously tab is cool as well. Nah, it's totally personal preference if you want. Like it doesn't really matter. Whatever's easier and faster for you. But yeah, I'll use the tab if I want to make like a quick selection like this or something. Or especially if like, I don't know, say for example I want to select this, but you know I've added like a vert there or something, so I can't select the whole thing. I'll just use tab and oh shit. I'll just use tab and just run around it like this. Yeah, it's totally personal preference. What renderer am I using? Oh, John. Okay, no worries. Yeah, John, to be honest, like stuff like displacement and texturing, that sort of stuff is definitely beyond me. I don't really like giving like feedback or my opinion on something unless I actually know about it, or then I'm just giving false information. Like, so things like displacement, I don't really know, sorry. What else are we doing? Yeah, I can make it a downloadable file. I guess it's just a button I press to turn it on, I guess. Is it possible to get a job as a freelancer film? Unfortunately not. If you want to work on like big films as like an actual modeler, then no, you can't freelance. The main thing is because turnarounds are super fast and we need to get stuff into pipeline really quickly, so there isn't really time. I mean, like people freelance for like Blur, doing like cinematics and stuff like that. I don't know how that really goes, but in film there's so many times we'll be working on this asset and then we need to chuck it into the pipeline immediately so other people can start testing with it. Maybe cinematics have a much bigger work time, so they can accommodate the delay with communication, but working in a film you have to work in-house. Also, they don't let anything leave the studio, so that makes freelancing harder as well. But I mean, you can totally work as a freelancer as a modeler, but not for the big films, unless you're doing concept or you're doing like game cinematics and you're working for Blur or something. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. If someone asked for this right now, we could check this into a pipeline. I would just, but you know, they'd know it's really hacky. We would just bulk rename all of this stuff, flip it to the other side, make sure that was all, like the name convention was right instead of left, freeze the transforms, and then we can chuck it into a pipeline. But you know, they know it will be a hacky mess. But that sort of stuff happens all the time. You know, you'll be working and then suddenly, I don't know, rigging will be like, oh, we want to do some tests, and then you can just quickly shoot them a model to play with. That's pretty standard. Yeah, it's very important. So how do I explain this? Well, usually like you can't even check your asset into the pipeline if a single piece of geometry has the exact same name as another piece of geometry. So you physically can't even put it into the pipeline. It just creates problems for other people if, you know, if everything doesn't have unique names. Yeah, journalists must be hard. Because you have to be good and fast at everything. I have a lot of respect for generalists, especially really good generalists. For me, I get to model most of the day. I rarely, I'm never in meetings or anything like that, unless there's something like really we have to deal with. Usually I'm just modeling all day. I'm just a senior modeler, I'm not like a super or anything like that. Not even a lead or anything like that. So most of the time I get left alone just to do my thing. And then, but you know, if you're working with a team of like, I don't know, 3 modelers on one asset or something like that, then you'll have to, you know, walk around and talk to each other, and there's a bit of communication then, but most of the time I just get left alone to do my thing. We do have like things like rounds and dailies and stuff like that, but usually that stuff's really minor. Like 5-10 minutes. With hard surface stuff, it's always important to make sure lines actually follow each other. It just looks a lot more manufactured if things actually follow the lines. Like lines are consistent, I mean. Like if this was wonky like that, well, actually that might still work kind of. But it's still just a general rule. It's good to have things that run parallel to each other, or it just looks wrong. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we'll boolean this one in. See, like, why does it do that? I just boolean it and it gets rid of this vert. I don't know why. I really don't understand why. What are breaks like? Breaks are pretty good. I mean, I can go have a coffee, or people can go have a smoke whenever they want. That's fine, unless you don't have like a meeting or something like that. Like, the film industry is quite relaxed in general. Alright, this is weird. This is what I don't like. Why is slide edge gone on? Is that it? Everything's usually out in the open. I mean, depends on the studio, but every studio I've been, it's usually like an open floor for each department, which is quite nice. I mean, depends which studio you are. Some people have like rooms or offices if you're like a soup or something like that, but most people are usually out on the floor. Even if you're like a soup or a lead, you'll usually still be out with everyone else, which is cool. I mean, of course, managers, stuff like that, have their own area, because they need more confidential time. I know, so you want to be a character artist, right? A character artist is, I mean, it's cool, like definitely go for what you want. But the thing you have to keep in mind with character art is there's a lot of character artists out there. So you got like 10 people fighting for one creature. So That's the reality you have to keep in mind if you want to be a character artist in film. Or just any type of job. The competition is very high for character art. Yeah, it's hard. Like, especially when you be a character artist, you kind of need to prove yourself as well. I mean, that's just the reality of any job. If you want to be a specialist, you definitely need to prove and be known that you can do the work. Especially if you're competing against other people, which are also good at that sort of stuff. I mean, like if you're an ILM, you're against people like Chris Costa and stuff like that. So you got to be pretty good. For hard surface, it's not so much. There's a lot less. There's a lot less really good hard surface modelers. I don't know. People kind of think hard surface is easy, but you know, whatever. Competition for environment. I don't know. Environment modeling itself is kind of a weird thing. Like we don't really have, like at ILM for example, we don't really have like an environment modeling team. You have a gen team that build environments, and then the asset team will help gen sometimes. So there's no dedicated environment modeling team, if that makes sense. But there's definitely like modelers that do enjoy and specialize in doing environments. Oh, that's not good. Spaceship artists? What about spaceship artists? Oh, sorry, gen means generalist. Sorry. So ILM has a generalist department, not an environment team. I haven't looked at your work, but definitely just a general good thing for portfolios. Tailor your portfolio to what you want to do. Like there's no way I could go and work for like Pixar or something because all my stuff is like realistic spaceships. So definitely tailor your portfolio to the exact type of work you want to do. Yeah, to be honest, like just getting into the industry is probably good to think more general and just focus on getting in. Once you get in, that's when you can start to push for what you really want to work on. Like, that's what I did. I had some organic stuff in my portfolio. I just cared about getting into the industry, and then when I got in, that's when I was like, okay, cool, I want to do spaceships. What am I doing? Oh, I know Damien. You talking about Damien, the French guy? I don't want to butcher his name. I'll type his name here. Do you mean this dude? Matte painting is part of the Gen team. I assume they have people that specialize more in matte painting than like 3D environments. But a lot of the Gen team in ILM are pretty fucking badass. Yeah, Damien's great. I met him at Method when I was there. Oh, a different Damien. Alright, well the Damien I posted is also, he worked at Blur as well, and he's a really good environment artist. Oh shit, let's not do that. I don't know, that's a really tough thing, John, because like, you can't put work in your portfolio that's not strong, and if your organic stuff isn't strong, I don't think you should put it in. I don't think... me personally, if I was going to hire someone, if they didn't have organic stuff, that wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, because most of the time, like, people that are new to the industry, they're not going to be doing organic work anyway. They're mostly going to be doing, like, props. So if they don't have any organic work, it's not really that important. I think it's expecting too much out of, like, a person trying to get in the industry to be good at everything. I mean, I'm only good at one thing, so I can't expect people coming out of school to be competing with everyone on all levels that's specialized. Yeah, environment and matte painting usually get blurred together. Oh, that's pretty cool. Damn standard, that's sick. Yo, how's it going? Masa Maritas? Are you talking about like the Japanese dude in ILM San Francisco? Yeah, but like NASA is like in a league of his own that no one can touch. It's you shouldn't compare yourself to NASA. He's insane. Yeah, no, I worked with him a bit. He's in a league of his own. That guy is ridiculous. Yeah, he's really good. Like I don't even like if I'm a candle, he's a bonfire. That's pretty much the level difference between me and NASA. So yeah. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, I do know. Yeah, Chris Costa is also really good. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, no, I'm not crying. I'm just tired. Nah, you won't find Mazza online. Oh, that's not good. Whoops. So usually, like, if I have a piece like this and I've combined it, then I'll move this into the center group. So this is not going to be left or right anymore. Drop that in here. Master is a modeler. Massa was, I heard he was an accountant, like not even, like had nothing to do with VFX. But I heard he's pretty famous in Japan for making model kits, so I guess that's where he built his eye up, because ultimately, like, topology anyone can really do, it takes practice, but like, to be a really good hard surface modeler you need to have a good eye for detail, and that's where he excels, I think. Fight. No, I'm not gonna fight NASA. That guy will win. How do I know? We work together at ILM. He's in ILM San Francisco and I'm in ILM Vancouver. He was kind of my lead briefly on solo. So I talked with him a bit. Not too much though. It's not like we're best buddies or anything like that. Yeah, Massa. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised all you guys know who Massa is, because I know he doesn't really have much of an online presence, but he's really well respected in the studio. Oh, if it's a dance-off, I win. That's easy. Yo, how's it going? Yeah, he did Megatron for on Transformers. He did Megatron, and he did the Dragon, and he built half of Cogman. But he's mostly known for his Star Wars stuff. He's like one of the main Star Wars guys. But yeah, that guy is legit. Wait, I said topology was a secret? What? Oh yeah, Massa's got a demo reel. He's definitely got something, but he doesn't have like ArtStation, or he doesn't post his work online or anything like that. But you can find Massa's demo reel definitely. It's pretty much all Star Wars. Nah, not NASA as in like space, but Massa. The dude's very hard working though. I think that, like, my friend used to sit in the room with him and he said the dude was like a machine. He would just pump work out. His work ethic is ridiculous apparently. To be honest, that's what I kind of struggle with. Like, I get distracted a bit easily. I don't know why I did this. So, yeah. Honestly, like, I get messaged so often and I do intend to get back to people. But usually I'll get messages at like when I'm walking to work or something, and then I think, okay, I'll get back to them in a bit, and then I kind of forget. So yeah, if I don't respond, it's nothing personal at all. I do want to get back. It's just I get messaged a lot more than I ever expected, to be honest. But it's totally cool. People can always message me. Just don't take it personally if I don't respond instantly, and just send me a nudge or something to get my attention again. Wait, why'd I do that? That was bad. Jesus. Oh yeah, there's plenty of times where people ask me for feedback and I'll give them in-depth analysis on their work, and then I just never hear from them again. That's pretty normal, to be honest. Oh shit. Yeah, it kind of blows my mind a bit as well. I personally don't know why so many people why so many people contact me. I'm just another modeler. I mean, it's cool, but it's just I never expected this, to be honest. Do I live in the city? Yeah, I live downtown Vancouver. Like, literally right in the middle of Vancouver. Sounds expensive. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, but I personally value like my time over my money, if that makes sense. Like, the convenience of living downtown is great. Like, it takes me 8 minutes to walk to work, which is very handy. Yeah, rent's not cheap, but like, I don't know, after coming from like London, it's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know. When I was in London, I lived in pretty shit accommodation. So when I came to Vancouver, I was like, screw it. I'm gonna live in a nice place. And I totally don't regret it at all. Yeah, God, when I was in London, it was pretty hard. I lived in a when I was a runner, I was paid so little money. I lived in a house share with like 4 other people in some shitty old house. Nah, I'm pretty simple life, to be honest. The mill? I don't know, the thing with like running is it can be really hard, but it's a way in the industry, and that's the most important part. I personally was so grateful I got the opportunity to be a runner, because that's how I got into the industry. So I definitely take it if you get the chance. But just be aware that it's not a fun job. But, you know, if you work hard, it leads to other things. Now, if you want to be a runner, you gotta be used to being on your feet all day. You're literally running around the office. You never stop. So good. But yeah, when you're trying to get into the industry, just take whatever you can get. But try not to get pigeonholed in what you don't want to do. Like when I was a runner, so many runners just didn't try. They just stayed a runner, and then I thought that was kind of a bit of a waste. Hard and soft edges. You mean like sure. I mean, yeah, like with hard surface, hard surface doesn't necessarily mean everything is hard. Hard surface just means it's like a hard material. The line between hard surface and organic is really blurred, because like what do you call like a couch? It's organic, but it's hard surface. It's stuff like that. So I usually don't think too much about like hard surface versus organic, unless it's a very obvious thing like a spaceship or something like that, because there's no way this is organic. But then you could argue that this is very organic forms. Yeah, hard surface usually just refers to like the type of material it is, not necessarily how sharp the edges are. Oh, so this is one massive panel. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people feel that everyone should just be modelers and they shouldn't split it. That's fine. Like usually you're not even hired as like a hard surface modeler. You're just usually just hired as a modeler, and then you're designated usually hard surface assets. What would be after lead modeler? You'd be model soup. So model soup usually, it depends what the studio is. So like, let's see. Like you don't have to have a model soup. Usually you can just get away with like a lead modeler. It just means if you've got a model soup, they are the one that looks at the bigger picture while the lead helps the team more, if that makes sense. So the model soup usually does like the bidding and stuff like that and deals with that sort of stuff, and the lead might be more hands-on with the team. That's the difference between them. Usually a lead won't do things like bidding on assets and stuff like that though. That's usually just the soup. But I don't know, you don't always need one. Do you mean does model soup work close with the VFX soup? Oh, we always work close with the VFX soup. Even like a junior or a mid can work close with the VFX soup. That doesn't matter. Because usually VFX soups are quite hands-on. They'll come to the room, they'll talk to artists. You'll go to dailies and get feedback from the VFX soup directly. So, but of course the asset soup will deal more with the VFX soup because they'll be dealing with more like bidding and stuff like that. Soup. Oh, model soup. Sick. I want to be model soup. I personally, I don't know if I want to be model soup, to be honest. I got in this to do the work, so if I couldn't do the work, I don't know what I'd feel about that. Like I'd rather be maybe a lead if the lead got to do the work as well. That would be the main thing. If I was to take a leadership role, I would have to be doing actual modeling as well. You'd still be doing less than most and you'd have more responsibility, but I'd still have to be doing something. I couldn't stop modeling completely. Yeah, I'm amazed how these films come together as well. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's pretty similar for a lot of these. I mean, even just any sort of industry has pretty... I'm surprised a lot of industries are capable of surviving, to be honest. Oops, what am I doing? What TV shows do you work on? Yeah, you gotta look after your team though. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like TV in general now these days is getting pretty good. Like the Netflix stuff is pretty decent, like VFX wise. And, you know, the new Star Wars TV show sounds pretty damn cool. I don't know anything about it, so don't bother asking, but it looks pretty cool. The one picture they released, I guess. Nah. Actually, no, that'd be pretty cool. Make everyone wear onesies. Do I know much about ILM X Lab? Not really. I just know they're in San Francisco and they do VR stuff. I don't really know anything about them, to be honest. I think they're like a separate company. Like we don't... Well, I've never had anything to do with them. Yeah, this is a pretty cool trick. I only found this out recently, like one of the students in Denmark showed me this. Is actually pretty cool. But if you want like this, if you want to add extra edge loops in here that follow the curve, you just select the edge, hold shift right click and go to edit edge flow, and it will pop the edge loop to match the flow of the shape, which is pretty damn cool. Yeah, I had no idea this was in here and one of the students showed me it. Yeah, Max is way better than Maya in every way, pretty much. Oh, whoops, that popped out a bit. I've only used Maya in Cinema 4D so far, but I'm sure Max is really good. Hit it with shift. Oh, actually, I think that might be it. True. All right, let's explore this. No, control. No. Ah, one of my colleagues actually did show me how to do it. How do I do it? Oh, that's right. You can do it, but you have to be in here. There, okay, that's it. So it is here, you need to hold shift, but you can't have the multiple edge loop thing. You have to be in here and do it. That's pretty cool. So I guess it is in here actually. Whoa, how are we here already? Oh shit. Let's go back up. Oh yeah, sick. Yeah, it is here. That's cool. I couldn't figure it out because I always use most of the time use multiple edge loop this section, but you have to be in relative to hold shift and do it and it will pop. So that's cool. There's so many ways of just doing the exact same thing. Sorry. I kind of want to cut this into a panel. Yeah, let's do that. That's kind of cool. How am I doing? How late are we streaming? Probably only for like 30 more minutes, to be honest. Probably till 10 o'clock. Yeah. I start at 7:30, so I'll probably go till like 10. Like I do have the concept on my screen. I've got it over here. So I am looking at it. If I was at work, I would follow this way more closely. But because I'm just doing this at home, like what I've done is I've blocked in... Oh shit, I've gone. So what I've done is I've blocked in a lot of the main features already. But like the actual paneling themselves, I'm adding extra paneling just because I thought it would look cool. Like most of this is all one massive panel, and that's a bit strange to me, so all I'm doing is just like looking for... Like I blocked in their main panels, and then I'm just adding cuts to kind of break it up a bit more. It makes it way more easier to model when you can only focus on just like one section as well. It depends. If you're at work and you know your soup is super picky, I wouldn't do this because they'll make sure you follow every panel perfectly. But because I'm just doing this at home on the stream, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, usually I'll start usually at 8, but today I wasn't really doing anything, so I thought I would just start. Is this quite early for people? I just kind of assume most people are in the States, to be honest. Yeah, at work, I don't know, it depends. Everything is different. Like every soup is different, every film is different. Like there's no defined rule of you should copy this exactly. A good general rule is to make sure you do actually copy though. That's, you know, better safe than sorry. But for this, since I'm kind of art directing it myself, I can kind of just add panels where I feel like it. save. Thank you. Yeah, I should probably save. Yo, how's it going? Denver. That also changes. So, yeah, I mean, every single concept is entirely different. Like sometimes you get a concept model, sometimes you get multiple images, sometimes you get orthographic images, sometimes you literally just have one painted thing. So every single thing we do is usually different. Oh, that's weird. Tashkent. I have no idea where that even is. Yeah, where's Tashkent? I'm sorry if I butchered the name as well. Oops. It's in Russia? Sick. Dudes are watching me in Russia, that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. People all over the world are watching me. That's cool, I appreciate it. Oh, sick. Oh shit, how'd I do this? That's not good. Being a celebrity, I wouldn't say I'm a celebrity. I'm just a dude making spaceships. That's pretty much it. Do you mean in person? No, no, no. No, I'm not famous. Nah, people only know me online. Oh, Jesus. Oh, and nobody's going to know. What did I do this for? The fuck? Oh, that's an accident. What am I doing? Cheap? Jesus Christ. Nah. Don't worry, drop the cheap thing. Yeah, how many people do we have here at the moment? $21? That's cool. What was fast? Oh, checking the thing. No, I don't think we could handle 21 jeeps. Yeah, that's cool. Is this working? No, I won't do that. Yeah, if this inspires you guys to work, that's super cool as well. Yeah, I used to like, do you guys know who Bobby Chew is? I used to listen to Bobby Chew's streams while I worked. Even though we're in completely different fields, it was still cool listening to his stuff. Bobby. Yeah, Bobby Chew is legit. Something like that. Imagine, something. Yeah, I can't remember his school exactly. But I met Bobby Chew, he's a really cool guy. He was doing a talk when I was in NPC London, and I got to meet him. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that guy's legit. That's not too bad. Z-Modeler and ZBrush, damn, I don't know anything about that sort of stuff. I don't know, I remember people talking about how ZBrush was going to replace Maya for modeling, and yeah, that's never going to happen. Not for like production modeling. I'm sure ZBrush have really cool tools. Yeah, he's the one that created schools. I think he created schools, didn't he? Yeah, there's Engons all this. I usually, like when I'm modeling, I don't just sit down and make sure everything is perfect before I move on. I usually just work on the general shapes, and then I go back and fix any Engons. Like usually I care about the form before the topology. Like this looks awful, but I'm gonna deal with that in a sec. Maybe we could have something like that though. So I don't know. I personally don't know too much about ZBrush to comment on like how good it is, but from a production standpoint, I just never see it like taking over from Maya in VFX at least. Yeah, I need to fix this. Yeah, corners like here are always the biggest pain in the ass. Everything is... Jesus Christ. Yeah, everything is easy in ZBrush. Shading is better with n-gons. I have no idea why an n-gon would benefit shading. Yeah, I personally don't see why you need to have an n-gon. Yeah, I'll be back in 2 secs. Oh, you want a script for finding n-gons? I'll show where it is. It's pretty simple. So if you just go select use constraints, and then you go to face mode, and then when you go next selection here, you can select by n-gons, and then when you select something, it'll pop up where all the n-gons are on your mesh. You can do that across your entire object if you want, and it shows where the n-gons are. Yeah, it's good to just get rid of n-gons when you can. And we could totally get into massive debates about if you should have n-gons or stuff. I mean, the reality is you can get away with it. When you subdivide the mesh, it's going to turn it into quads anyway. But it's just messy and it's not clean. It's kind of lazy, to be honest. So if you want to find all the n-gons on your mesh, you can simply select everything, and then you press F11. It turns it to face mode. You do this thing here, and then you can select your entire mesh, and it will show you every single n-con across your entire mesh. Really? If you're not able to avoid n-gons and triangles, you're useless? That's dumb. I'd say the teacher's an idiot. I mean, triangles are fine. I usually just tell people to avoid triangles because it's good to build good habits when you're learning. Like the thing with film, for example, is like lots of people are going to pick up your asset. So if you're lazy with your topology and everyone sees it, they're going to judge you on your work ethic. So if you're giving people really clean, efficient models, people will trust you more in the future. So in reality, you can just have triangles, n-gons, all that stuff, but it's not. I wouldn't advise it. Yeah, at the very least, triangles. Like I would avoid n-gon if you can. Like usually, when you check stuff into a pipeline, usually it will tell you if stuff is n-gons. Anyway. Oh, this is so annoying. So yeah, usually sometimes some pipelines won't even let you check in the asset if there's an n-gon on it. So it's just good to get used to not doing them. We're not going to avoid this. Oh yeah, I'm going to stream for like 10 more minutes. Alright, so any last questions, let me know. Oh shit. Jesus. Yeah, that's who it is. Jesus Christ. That's a very good question. Too many edge loops, that's true. How long will it take to finish the ship? Quite a while, to be honest. I mean, it'll probably get to the point that I'll start working on it like not on stream, because it would just take too long if I spend like 2 hours a week on it. Especially when most of the stuff now is like hardcore topology. It's not even like blocking shapes anymore, it's just making it a nice mesh now at this point. Yeah, definitely avoid n-gons if you can. It's definitely a good idea. Oh yeah, I could do that. That's true. I could just upload the video somewhere. So at least there's a record of what I'm doing. It might be sped up though. I don't think I'll talk to myself. Yeah, I also chose a pretty complex thing, but I think this is probably what people might want to see anyway, is like how to model on top of like curved surfaces like this, because this is actually pretty complex. Like doing this sort of stuff is pretty nice and chill, but like this sort of stuff is the hard stuff. Who's famous on Twitch? What is the most interesting part of modeling? Probably kitbashing, to be honest. Because it, like when you're kitbashing, it's pretty much just like playing with Lego. It's yeah, it's kind of relaxing. It's kind of nice, just like throwing shapes together, that sort of stuff. It's kind of cool, just like, yeah, throwing shapes around and seeing what different other shapes you can make with it. And it's usually fast and easy. You get instant gratification, and you know if your thing is going to look good or not without having to spend heaps of time modeling. So I think, yeah, definitely kitbashing is definitely my favorite part of modeling, which is not actually modeling technically. Yo, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Do I have any preferred concept artist? Do you mean, do I have a concept artist I like, or if I'd prefer going into concept? Yeah, no worries. Thanks for tuning in. Oh shit, it's 10 o'clock. Alright. Yo, 1 more minute. With my personal ship, I'm just doing it to however I want. Like since it's my own thing, it's not going to have to fit into a pipeline of any sort. I'm just modeling it how I feel like. But when you're actually working in a studio, every single film is worked at the same scale, and that changes depending on the studio itself. Like a lot of the time, you work at maybe 1/10 or 1/100th scale. You never actually work at physically accurate scale, or your scenes just get ridiculously massive. Like usually when you work in a studio, your default cube will be representative of a 1 meter cube, even if it's not actually technically 1 meter in your settings. A good concept art. This dude. The guy's spaceship I'm modeling right now, he's definitely one you should look into if you want some cool design. I'll show you his stuff. Where is it? Let's bring this here. Yeah, this guy's stuff, if you like to make pretty cool hard surface stuff, which is quite complex, this guy's stuff is very cool. Like it's cool hard surface shapes, but it's also quite organic. Like it's a good balance. And it's also a 2D concept, so it means you have to do a lot of problem solving yourself. So definitely check out this guy's stuff if you want to do like a cool hard surface asset. This guy's stuff is legit. But yeah, I gotta go. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll probably stream next Tuesday, sometimes Saturday, but don't hold out for that. If I do stream, I'll let people know. But yo, thanks for streaming. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys later.